This is the 20th of December 2024. We're at Vincent Corporation in Tampa, Florida, looking at screw presses. One that I found is brand new out of assembly, it's a CP4 press, and we're just hooked up a VFD to it. The VFD is over there. VFD plugs into the wall, 110 volt single phase, which makes these presses extremely handy to use. That VFD takes the 110 volt single phase and allows us to run a three-phase motor here. The slot width on our screen is 10 to 20 thousandths of an inch. It's 250, 300 microns. There's the screw. Discharge cone right here. I can't pull it open by hand, but I'll show you what that looks like. The material we're going to pour in the press, we're going to pour 30 gallons at least. There's 6 pails here. The interesting thing, hopefully you can see it here, I've got a thin layer of plastic film floating on the top, and about 3 inches down is a layer of material. Same phenomena over here, a little bit floating on the top, drop 3 inches, and there's a layer of thicker material. At first we didn't notice that. If we stir one of these up, it turns out there's stuff in the pail. Still, it's going to be very dilute. We'll try to get a couple of samples to see what the consistency actually is. We'll get that. We're just going to pour these consecutively into this press, and what I want to get is the time it takes to fill a 5-gallon pail with press liquor, and that'll give me the gallons per minute capacity of the press under the circumstances that we have here. Okay, we've got samples of the as-received material. We stirred it up and got samples from 4 different pails. We've got the cone open right now. Screws turned on. So here you can see the screw turning around in the wedge wire screen. As you can see, those 10 thousandths of an inch slots down there. And here's my discharge cone pushed in by this air cylinder, and screw in the inlet hopper. The plan is we're going to pour in a pail, see what happens. Assuming things look good, we'll get going, and I want to at some point see how many minutes it takes to fill a 5-gallon pail with liquid. That'll give us the throughput capacity, and combining that throughput capacity of the press in gallons per minute with the solids content of the material we're feeding into the press, we'll have your dry matter capacity, pounds per hour, kilos per hour, of this particular 4-inch press. Okay, stirring up a bucket, and we're going to pour it in and see what happens. Oops, I got to get that cone shut over here. Shut the discharge cone. Set it at 45 psi, 3 bar. I just picked that out of the air. We want to make pretty dry plastic film. I think this is plastic film we're looking at in here. And there it goes. See it rushing through the screen. Pour it faster, cover the screw. Yeah, we want to keep the screw covered when we run the test. Nothing leaking out of the discharge. That's surprising. It's a tight discharge. Usually you have some wet coming out, so you form a plug. Water's coming through pretty clear. And feeding our first 5-gallon pail into the press. Okay. Let's not feed anything else for a minute or two, see what happens here. Here's our press liquor. I see a little bit of plastic got through there. But basically all the material is caught in the press. Here I'm forcing some through the screen. Stuff. Okay. Yeah, pour in another bucket. First let's get that bucket out of the way. You pull that one out, I can scoot one in here. Either way. Okay, we'll pour in a couple more pails to see if we can form a plug, get some press cake coming out, see if we got enough fiber. You can pour it all in at once. I don't think the hydraulic head's going to cause any problem. We got plenty, no sign of the screen blinding here. You can pour in, go ahead and pour in another. Okay, I'm starting to get the cone to open. 45, the first material ought to be wet because it was just conveyed along. Go ahead. Yeah, it empties in a hurry.
Oh no, another bucket real quick?
Oh yeah, yes. Go ahead. Here's the cake coming out. Doesn't take a lot of stirring, that's all you need. It settles out so fast. This is our third pail. Press cake coming out. Water coming out. Level going down. It's coming out uniformly all the way around the discharge cone. We're running about 20 RPM, 60 hertz on this PFD. Pretty good action here. Grabbing a little bit of this cake. It's still moist. I can feel some humidity. I doubt if I can squeeze any moisture out. It feels moist. It sticks to my hand a little. We'll run a moisture analysis on the cake. The polymer may well help. Okay, I'm going to quit shooting video for the time being so I can run that capacity test. That's the whole show. We got one pail over there filled in 45 seconds, and that was a 5-gallon pail. Filled it in 45 seconds. So you got 6 3/4 gallons per minute, some number like that. 6 1/3, whatever. 5 gallons in 45 seconds. Our press cake, we'll get some of that we'll save some of that, and you can see it's still coming out here even though we have emptied out the press. Over here we have all our pressed liquor, and you can see clear to the bottom of the bucket. Very little stuff. Some traces got through, but basically we cleaned up the flow and captured all the solids. It had been flocculated. Not sure how much difference it would make if it hadn't been flocculated. I'm sure you can't imagine ever having seen this many screws. We're in the screw department here. And yeah, they've got a doozy here. And I'll walk down to the assembly department. Yeah, it's Friday afternoon. The day shift knocks off early. They come in at 6. They're only on 8 hours, so they went home at 2:30. And this is how there's a second shift coming in a couple hours. And here you see small presses, big presses. Right here we've got 2 big ones that are restoring and modifying for biomass fuel be run in Dominican Republic, and a press under construction. Anyway, this is the assembly department.